Hey guys, David here from Breakthrough Life Coaching. So today's video is all about the poll I put out on LinkedIn last week. So I'm going to share my screen so you can see it, and we'll start talking about this. It was really fascinating. So if you didn't see it, this was the poll, and it was asking the big question of which of these items do you think has the most sugar per 100 grams? And as you can see, it's ended with 80 votes. But when the poll first started, it was really fascinating because a lot of people went for the Nestle frosted shredded cereal. But very quickly, I found that people were shifting away and actually were questioning whether the red Seedless Grapes were the worst culprit for the sugar per 100 grams. But as you can see in this poll here, 41% of 80 voters felt the Nestle frosted shredded cereal was the worst for sugar per 100 grams. And I think this is a really important thing to be mindful of, is per 100 grams, not per serving. Per serving can be very misleading because the manufacturers are given free choice about what they consider is a serving. So I wouldn't always rely on the advice around per serving when it comes to sugar. Okay, so second most was red Seedless Grapes, and that was quite interesting because at the start of the poll that wasn't the case. A lot of people went more towards the cereal, but as you can see here, the least are the Custard Doughnut and then the milk chocolate digestive. So I know a lot of you were very excited, got involved in the poll, which is great, so thank you for getting involved. But actually a lot of you were really keen to know the answer, so you can sort of see down the comments below, there was lots of people getting involved, really wanting to say, what's the answer, Dave? And the really important thing to say here actually is the people that were getting involved in this poll, they're very educated, knowledgeable people about this stuff. They have a really good idea about how this stuff works. But the point is, it's quite confusing. I'm not perfect, no one is. And actually, it's all about education and learning. So I would, if I have drums, I would do a drum one. But actually, the one that has the most sugar per 100 grams, 41% of you were absolutely correct. It is the Nestle frosted Shreddie cereal, okay? So again, when you look at the serving here, it suggests 40 grams of serving. Now that's tiny, it's a tiny little pot. You're not going to get a full serving. But what's really important to be mindful of, and scroll down here, is to actually look at the ingredients, to actually look at the content of this food. So the way ingredients are described, it's always the first ingredient in the list is the main ingredient. So as you can see here, 82% whole grain wheat. The second one is sugar. That's pure refined sugar on your cereal, right? Second main ingredient. Third main ingredient, invert sugar syrup. Guess what that is? It's another sugar. Then you've got your barley malt extract, and then they've added salt. But what's this little one here? Molasses. Any guesses what that might be as well? Yeah, you guessed it. It's sugar. So all food labeling should have nutrition broken down into serving and per 100 grams. So as you can see here, per 100 grams for the cereal, it's 25 grams. So that's telling you as well that a quarter of the content of that cereal, a quarter of it is sugar, okay? Well above what we would be looking for in our sort of reference intake. So you can sort of see here, it's suggesting that, per serving, we're looking at 11% intake. It's a lot, okay? So the second main one, which I'm going to go back to the poll here, a lot of people thought was the grapes, but actually, a lot of you missed the fact that it was actually the milk chocolate digestives. And actually, when you look at it, when you look at the nutritional value, it's only 24.5, 0.5 grams less per 100 grams than the cereal, okay? And please bear in mind, when I'm talking about this stuff, I'm not saying to you, don't eat biscuits, don't eat this, don't do that. That's not the promotion, that's not about it. That's not how eating works. The rule that I always say is the 80-20 rule. As long as you're eating the right foods 80% of the time, you're doing good, okay? So a lot of people miss that. You know, when you look at the poll, 10%. So, you know, eight out of 80 of you felt the digestive was going to be the higher one here. So, third one was the grapes, okay? Per 100 grams is 17 grams, which is a lot of sugar. We can't deny that, actually. But, and of the fruits, grapes are going to be the ones that are going to have the higher sugar content. But there's some really important things for you to be mindful of here, okay? Firstly, the sugar in grapes is natural sugar. It's fructose. It's going to be better for you than refined sugar. Secondly, it's being mindful that a lot of fruit has fiber in it, which is good for you, which can counteract the sugar content. And thirdly, like everything, this goes for all foods, but specifically for grapes and fruit, it's about being mindful of your portions, okay? When they advise five or more fruit or veg a day, yes, have your fruit. We do want you to be eating your fruit, but actually it's being mindful of the vegetables, having those different options. But as long as you're being careful with portions, grapes are fine. Don't make the mistake that my mother made once, bless her, as a diabetic. She once ate 25 pounds worth of fruit, including grapes, in 2 days. Yeah, and her blood sugar levels shot up very high. She wasn't very well, okay? So again, this always comes back to everything is about the moderation. So this leads obviously to the last one. 14% of you thought the custard donuts. Actually, only 11.6. If you think about it, it's about 6 grams roughly less sugar per 100 grams compared to the grapes. Now, some of you might be going, so Dave, does that mean I can have my custard donut? Well, obviously, like everything again in you want to have it in moderation. And again, as you can see, they've put sugar here, they've got glucose, and there's a lot of chemicals and agents and sort of, you know, just not, you know, you've got dextrose. There's a lot of sources of sugar of here in this. So there's a lot of flavorings and chemicals and things that they add in to make it work. But is it, you know, is it okay to have them? If you're having them every now and then, that's fine. But it's all being mindful. So the important thing to take away from this poll and this whole discussion around sugar and around the nutritional content of your food is education and awareness is key every single time. Look at the poll, look how it went. Only 41% of you realised actually the cereal was the worst culprit here, okay? And the more you know, the more you will learn, and the more you will grow, the better decisions you will make. And I think one of the things that I always promote with all my clients here is actually, if you make a mistake and you do make the wrong choice, it's fine, okay? Making mistakes isn't the problem. It's if you don't learn from them. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and the poll. If you want to speak to me, if you want a bit of advice or guidance around managing your food and your education, learning about food labeling, please get in contact, because I'm more than happy to talk and educate about this, especially from my previous journey of being a once a 32-stone man to the man I am today. So thank you for watching. I've been David, and I'll see you soon.